Ladies and gentlemen, it is a season of bluff and bluster, not just domestically, even in international politics. After Pakistan's failed marshal issued a nuclear attack dhamki, now it's the turn of their former foreign minister, Bilawal Bhutto, to amplify the war-mongering. Bilawal Bhutto issued a war threat to India over the suspension of the decades-old Indus Water Treaty, saying that it caused great damage to Pakistan. He called on Pakistanis to unite for a war to get back all 6 rivers. It was a reiteration of his earlier blood will flow if India stops water threat. But the irony is that right after this chest thumping came a letter begging India to resume the Indus water supply. The US has ignored Pakistan's warmongering just like the opposition in India. For them, one reminder came from a former Pentagon official who has unmasked Pakistan and Asim Munir, calling him Osama bin Laden in a suit and tie. In India, BJP leader Mithun Chakrabarti also fired back, responding to the war dhamki with BrahMos warning. But opposition continues to target Modi government over a weak leadership and finding faults in his foreign policy.
अगर ऐसी बातें करते रहेंगे तो फिर खोपड़ी सनक गई तो फिर दूसरा हो जाएगा ना, फिर एक ब्रह्मोस चला तो दूसरा ब्रह्मोस चलेगा। और अगर कुछ नहीं हुआ तो हम लोगों ने सोचा एक डैम बनाएंगे और 140 करोड़ आदमी उधर डैम खोल देगा, कोई गोली नहीं चलेगी, सुनामी आ जाएगा।
Americans look at terrorism through the lens of grievance. They believe that a grievance can be addressed with a diplomatic formula. They don't understand the ideological underpinnings of many terrorists. Asim Munir is Osama bin Laden in a suit.
देश कमजोर नेतृत्व के हाथ में है। प्रधानमंत्री जी के पीछे 140 करोड़ लोग खड़े हैं। वो देश के प्रधानमंत्री हैं, दम दिखाएं। कहाँ विश्वगुरु की बातें कर रहे थे कि विश्वगुरु बन गया है देश? कहाँ खड़ा कर दिया ला करके? ना कोई हमारा है ना हम किसी के हैं।
All of these countries, all of these people who are making statements from failed states, I don't think we need to take cognizance. We are responding too much to unnecessary provocations that have absolutely no importance.
You're watching the News Hour at 9, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Joining Shehzad Poonawala and Ashwini Kumar Mishra on the show, and of course Anmol Panwar, who continues to be with us, are Sushant Sareen, Senior Fellow at the ORF. But my first question to Major G.D. Bakshi, Defense Analyst, and G.D. Bakshi, dar jaएं. Pakistan is now saying that, half the world will be wiped out because they are a nuclear power. They want to rain missiles on us because we stopped the Indus Water Treaty. And the biggest threat has come from Bilawal Bhutto. What should India do? Quake in its boots?
My foot. You know, the simple fact is this man, his levels of sanity are questionable. Asim Munir is a mullah in uniform. He is one of the few generals in Pakistan who has had a seminary education. He is very good at spouting Quranic verses. But the simple fact is, I wish he had taken a closer military professional look at what had happened in Operation Sindoor. He is talking of firing 10 missiles against any dam that we construct in the Indus. May I remind him that his forces launched 1,200 drones and 3 ballistic missiles against India in Operation Sindoor. All 3 were shot down. The third nuclear age is upon us, in which the nuclear arsenals of moderately armed states like Pakistan cannot hope to get through the very lethal and very effective integrated air defenses that India has displayed in Operation Sindoor, right? 100% of the Pakistani missiles were shot down. 3 missiles fired, all 3 down. You cannot get through. And that is just the defensive way. Offensively, we created the runways of all airfields from where their fighter bombers modified for nuclear toss bombing could have taken off. We hit Chagai Hills and the Kirana entrance, where there were the electrical engines for opening and closing those heavy cement, concrete, steel doors, from where you could have accessed those nuclear warheads for mating with the missiles or mating with the aircraft for delivery means. All were blasted. Pakistan is on notice. Your nuclear arsenal is defunct. There is no way
but
that you can use it
there are
against
still some people,
India.
Major
India
Bakshi, in India who actually feel that we are a weak country led by a weak Prime Minister. Isn't that your charge, Ashwini Mishra?
No, Navika ji, we never said we are weak country. We are a very strong country and we are very proud of that. We are telling that we have a weak government. And here's the proof. See, Pakistan is not an issue. The country whom we consider our friends are supporting Pakistan is the issue. When Modi ji goes and does this.
Again, fake news being spread. You will not run the whole. You will not run the whole. I have fact-checked you on previous shows. No, I will not allow a non-fact to go on.
Problem is, Navika ji, problem is, we understand that China is the one who is backing Pakistan. When we were fighting Operation Sindoor, China was the one who was backing Pakistan, and we are still China जाके हम गलबगियां कर रहे हैं. We are 120 billion trade deficit. We are अमेरिका को हम अपना जिगरी दोस्त मानते थे, and America showed us the real face of it, and we are still considering we are still failed diplomatically to answer America.
The Congress party still wants us to have a dialogue with Trump, who most of the world has found undependable. They still want to blame Modi with a half a statement that is being put out, which is a fact check that I have done on 1,000 different occasions on this show itself, but they continue to peddle the same lies. I just want to ask you, why would Pakistan on the one hand be war-mongering and on the other writing chittis to India कि भाई Indus water छोड़ दो?
Navika, that is a kind of lawfare that they're trying to do with us. But I personally believe that at least we should not take somebody as puerile as Bilawal Bhutto seriously. He is a typical dynast, and of course, Mishra ji knows a lot about dynasty. He's a typical entitled dynast who is in his position because he's the third or the fourth generation. And when he says that we never surrender or we never withdraw, we've seen what his grandfather did, how he lost half his country. We've seen what his mother did, how she was willing to get into bed with the army and gave everything to the army so that she could become prime minister. So we know about the Bhutto family and what his father did, what he does. We know all about them. So I don't think we should take them seriously. But my point is that, look, for anybody to suggest that, we have a weak government, weak governments do not hit back at a country which sponsors terrorism in India. These only strong governments do. Weak governments actually say, go to America and ask for permission whether we can hit Pakistan or not. Strong governments hit Pakistan because we feel that they need to be taught a lesson. That is one. Secondly, if Mr. Modi wanted, he could have said, okay, fine, I capitulate before Trump's tantrums and I give in to whatever he's asking me to do. I am willing to prostrate and call him daddy, like the Europeans call him daddy, right? Like the Pakistanis are willing to go literally take their pants out and offer themselves to Mr. Trump that you are the greatest thing which has happened to the world since Jesus Christ came, although they don't believe in Jesus Christ, so probably they were talking about Prophet Muhammad. So that is what they are willing to do. Now, do you want us to do something similar? Now, what are we trying to do? And I'll take half a minute to explain. We are in a bad situation. I don't make light of the problems which we are having with the Americans at this point in time. I'm not going to indulge in this needless bravado of that the Americans can go to hell and they're only 2%, 3% GDP. it is a very serious international relations crisis we face. The choice before us is that either we we protect and defend our sovereignty, and we make certain changes within the country. We gird up our loins so that we are able to withstand the headwinds that are going to hit us really hard. Let's make no bones about it. It is going to happen, right? So we need to be prepared for that.
Absolutely. We have a challenge on our hands. But as you said, our sovereignty comes first. In that, should the Prime Minister be standing and chest thumping and saying, "Aa jao, dekh lenge," Anmol Parmar? Is that what the Aam Aadmi Party wants to prescribe?
Navika ji, unfortunately, in Modi's rule, the foreign policy has been reduced to a PR exercise. It's more about securing headlines in India than securing India's interest abroad. So basically, he's focusing more on personal friendships than national priorities. Recently, we saw that he was cozying up with Pakistan, a nation which is a terrorist country.
When?
And Asim
When?
Munir,
Please,
on
recently
US,
is
on
when?
US soil.
Recently is when?
Asim, Navika ji, Asim.
Recently is when? I'm asking you a question
Asim
because I haven't
Munir,
understood you.
From Navika ji, just a month back we saw that how Pakistan leaders went to the United States and they were cozying up.
But
Trump
when
was
is
cozying
recently
up,
that Prime Minister Modi was cozying up to Pakistan? Can you please shed some light on that?
Because you have come last to me, Navika, I hope that nobody will
Yes, because you have to answer all the questions.
I agree with that, Navika, but I just don't want to be interrupted. Navika, I have to first take lectures from a party which ruined our relations with Singapore and made funny names of countries because of which there was a diplomatic crisis. And these are the people who doubted surgical strike and got published in the Pakistani newspapers. Now my dear friend Ashwini, whom I take more seriously, has said that we have never doubted the armed forces. We have said armed forces is strong, country is strong. Sir, Tamasha Sindoor, who said Mahadev, sir, don't interrupt, please sir. Mahadev is communal, failure है और छुटपुट है, surrender है. 5 जेट और 1 प्लेन को जब मारा है 300 किलोमीटर की दूरी से, द लार्जेस्ट surface to air hit was done apart from the 9 terror camps and Iran bases, and ACM and General both have testified to this. At that time, who has said that the politically hands were tied and who has said that the 5 jets were down on the basis of a Trump tweet, which he did not mention which countries' jets were down. But you lapped it up, Rahul Gandhi and Gogoi. Now finally, IWT has been suspended first time. But you know who defended the IWT and should not be suspended? Saifuddin Soz, Santosh Lad and the left parties. And finally, Navika ji, just 10 seconds, not in the flowery language of Sushant Sareen, पर जो बंदा हमें रशियन तेल खरीदने से नहीं रोक पाया, वो ऑपरेशन सिंदूर क्या रोकेगा? हम तो अब रेयर अर्थ मिनरल्स भी खरीद रहे हैं. हमारे डोवाल साहब रशिया भी चले गए, रशियन प्रेसिडेंट भारत भी आने वाले हैं, हम लोग SCO भी जाने वाले हैं, और ब्राजील ने भी कहा कि उनको मोदी पर भरोसा है. तो मैं ये कहता हूं, पर हाँ, I want to take one question of Mr.
I'm short of time, but I can only say one thing, that foreign policy in today's world is a dynamic policy. It has to keep adjusting itself to the changing geopolitical situation. If the Congress party and the opposition believe that this is a static situation, then welcome to the new world order. It is still in the making. The fact is, India will not bow down and India will be a pole in the multipolar world. How? Well, certainly by standing its ground. Is there a challenge? Certainly there is. Can India meet that challenge? Of course we can, because we are Indian. We leave it at that. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on the Newshour tonight. Good night and be safe. I'll see you tomorrow.